Hello, good evening. How you doing? Thanks for joining me on this experiment. I'm gonna get rid of the background there because I think that's a bit distracting. Because you're not actually looking at me. You're looking at this weird beach. There we go. I'm just having a muck around. Yes, and I thought I'd do it with. Don't look at you there. Look at you there. You there. I thought I'd have a muck around because I haven't got my camera. My wife's gone on holiday with the camera, so I can't do any videos. And I've been thinking for a long time about doing a video review, but doing it live just to see how it works and if it works. I mean, obviously there's going to be probably some technical problems because this is live streaming, and I don't know if the internet connection from my house is great or not for doing live. I know I've done a lot of live chatting and stuff before, and it seems to be okay. But will it work for high definition video? And again, I don't know if this is going to be coming out in exactly high definition or not. So I don't know how good this Zoom is going to. It's not going to zoom. It's not going to zoom, but I'm going to choke. I'm going to choke. Yeah, so I don't know how this is going to go. It may go total pants, but I thought I'd try it because it gives me something to do while I'm sat on my Todd. If I did try, no. I thought I'd muck around and see if the video would stutter or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a live video review of Ticket to Ride. Now, a lot of you already know this game, so again, if this video is really, really, really cacamouja, it won't matter. But I thought I'd do it because it'd be an experiment, it'd be a test, it'd be a fun. And again, this puts me under pressure as well. Doing live stuff, having to review a game live does put a lot of pressure on you because when you're doing a video, normally you can edit. And I mean, I spent a whole day making one video, which will last about 10 to 15 minutes. That's one whole day of me talking, cutting, pasting, zooming, filming, refilming, watching the whole thing and going, okay, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Oh, I forgot to say about that. So I won't be able to do that with this video. It's going to be full on. Yay, I'm waving. I'm waving. It's full on madness. And hopefully I will keep you entertained. Now, I started a tad early, just in case there was someone waiting and watching the countdown on YouTube, but obviously not. Doesn't matter. As I said, this is an experiment. This might work. I'm going to show you Ticket to Ride. I'm going to show you how to play it. I'm going to talk and comment about the game and its components, give you my overall impression of the game, which you can probably guess what it is, but you might be surprised. Squeaky chair. Okay, if you want any comments as well, if you've got any questions and you're watching this live now, write them down. Okay, because afterwards what I'll do is I'll sum up and then I'll go over to the computer here and I will read them. Let me know what your opinions are of Ticket to Ride. Let me know your opinions of this experiment that I'm doing, this wild, crazy stuff. And for any of you that don't really know, I'm in my pajamas. Yes, I did take the dressing gown off because it looked a bit soiree. But anywho, okay. So I'm going to stop babbling, and I'm going to babble some more because I like babbling. Because otherwise, the video is boring. And this video will probably be boring because it's going to be a stationary camera and I can't cut and paste. So anyway, I'm going to go over to the camera and I'm going to turn it around and I'll try not to squeak it and make it too much noise. Too much, and we go like this. And then we go down like this. And here we go. Does that look good? Just go a bit more to the right. And then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hips. Ooh, if I get down to copyright. And then you time. Yeah, so here we are. This is Ticket to Ride Europe. Now, there were many incantations. Incantations? Or incarnations. That's the word, not incantations. That's an album by Mike Oldfield of Ticket to Ride. And they have different maps and they have slightly different rules. So the rules in this version, the European version, is different to that of Markland and different to that of the original base Ticket to Ride, which has the map of the States. Okay, so what you'll get in the box is you'll get this lovely map in the European. And I can't do a video without saying, look at the interior. The interior holds everything beautifully. You've got spaces for all the 5 characters' colours: yellow, black, blue, red, and green. Okay, there's also some spare trains that they give you, which is really, really generous. And this always packs away nicely. You have a rule book, which tells you the rules. And the rule book is a very good job at telling rules. Does it not? Yes, because I understand all the rules. Okay, so a Ticket to Ride, it is one of those games where you're trying to get points. Yeah, points. That's it. Highest points wins the game. Now, this may look a bit confusing to some people who have never seen Ticket to Ride before, but it is very, very simple. All of these are cities around Europe, as you can see. There's my house originally. Now I'm over here. I miss my house. But anywho, I'm here now. This is all the cities, and these are the routes at which connect them. Okay? And in this game, you're going to be connecting cities together with the trains. Woo-hoo! And when you do, you will get points for that. Yes? Does that make sense? Yes. Everyone agree with me? All my loyal viewers? Okay. So what else do you get as well as the trains? Well, you get a big deck of these train cards. Okay. And all these train cards come in different colours. And as you can see, they probably need a bit of a shuffle. So you've got all these different colours, and you've got these jokers. This is a wild. It can be any colour. And you're basically going to be collecting these cards, because then you can use them to pay for routes. So like here, there's 3 white train cards, and I can pay 3 white train cards to buy a 3 white train route. So I can build between Frankfurt and Paris here with those 3 train cards. Okay. So the other thing you get is you'll get a bunch of ticket cards. Now, these are objectives for you to do. So like here, if you connect between Paris and Wien, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Wien, looks like Wien, could be Wiener. Okay, if I connect all my trains between Paris and Wien, I will get 8 points at the end of the game if I complete this card. If I don't complete this card, and it's in my hand still, if I don't get a train route all the way, no matter where, from Paris to Wien, I am going to lose 8 points. And all these train cards have, obviously, the map. Ooh, I don't know if that's going to be high res or not. It has the map on it, and it has the little dots to show you where they are on the map, so you can look for them quite easy. And I mean, you find this maybe a bit strange when you get these cards the first time, and you're like, where the hell is that? But you can look at them and, oh, there it is. And the last thing you want to do is go, has anyone seen Warsaw? Warsaw. Yeah, it's there. Oh, yeah, thank you. You trying to get to Warsaw, are you? No, I'm not trying to get to Warsaw. Okay, so yeah, there's your regular tickets. And then there's 6 extra long tickets. Now, these are really long routes, and these are cities which are a very, very long way away from each other, and they give you big points. So what happens at the end of the game? You will get your 45 trains. You will get your 3 train stations, and you'll get your little score token, which goes on the score track, which is around the board. Now, I don't like score tracks around the board, so I'm going to be criticizing and praising this game because it's a lot better that way. So, score tracks around the board are the most annoying things because they get knocked pretty easily because you're playing here. And what's going to happen? Someone puts a train down, or someone says, "Oh, I know what? I'm going to build that route there, and with those 2 cards. And what happens? Trains go flying, and then scores go flying, and no, you just mucked it up, mate. So score tracks around the outside of the board. Pants, stop doing them. Get an apple, something. Get something cool. Okay, so once you've got your trains and your station, your score marker, you are ready. You will be dealt 4 of these train cards. Okay, at random. Each player will get 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And there's a ticket in there. She's got a ticket in the wrong pile. Okay, so everyone will get 4 of these cards secretly. Okay, and that goes into your hand. Each player will also get 1 of these long route blue ticket cards secretly. Okay, you won't know what it is until you look at it, and the rest of them gets thrown back in the box. I'll try not to get in the way too much, so you can see my spotty neck or whatever. Okay, and then each player will randomly receive 3 normal tickets. Now, once you've got your tickets, you'll have 4 tickets and 4 trains. You'll decide which ones you want to keep. So you'll be looking at them and going, okay, there's that route there, Marseille to Essen, Rica de Bucharest. And another good thing about this game is all the cities are spelt correctly as they really are spoken and pronounced in their country. So, ooh, excuse me, that's dinner coming back up. There you go. I don't know much about you, Rica. Okay, so yes, going back to this, you will choose to keep you need to keep at least 2 of these tickets. You keep those 2 and throw the other 2 away, or you can keep all 4 of them. Because as I said, if you complete them, you get those points at the end of the game. If you don't complete them, you lose those points at the end of the game. Okay, so once you've decided, you are now ready to play. The only other thing you need to do is you need to set up a market. This market is the train deck here. You will place out 5 of these trains from this deck, like so. And then you're ready to play. Now, this game is really clean. This game has really clean mechanics. Okay? On your turn, you have 1 action. Wiggy finger! And you have 4 choices of things that you can do. Now, this will vary from game to game because, as I said, the European version is different to the American version, which is different to the Markland version. Markland, oh, I hope I'm not saying these names right, you know that. So yeah, in this version, there are 4 actions that you can choose from. On your turn, you can, if you wish, number 1, take some train cards. You can take 2 train cards. Now, you can either take 2 from the face-up market here. Now, when you do, if you take, say, the blue one, it instantly gets replaced by another card before you take a second one. Okay? Does that make sense? Yes, Barry, it does. You're so wonderful. Okay? So you could take 2 face-up train cards, or you can take 2 face-down train cards from the draw deck. Yes, Barry, that makes sense. Yes, I know it does. I'm super, and I. Yes. Now, one thing you can do as well is you can take either one from the draw pile and then one from the face-up market. Oh, Barry, you're such a genius. I never knew that. Oh, that's very nice of you. Okay, but there's one thing you cannot do. If there's a joker in an open market there, you cannot take a joker and another card, whether it be face hidden or face visible, because jokers are very, very powerful cards because they can be used as any part of a train. Does that make sense? Yes. So, number 1 action is done. Where's the crowd effect? Barry, give yourself a pat on the back. Yes. I think that worked. So that's 1 action that you can do. Okay? And if you do that action, obviously the play passes to the next player. Now, what I will say is at the beginning of the game, when you play this for the first time, you will be doing a lot of taking train cards, okay? It is possible that you could spend the first half of the game doing nothing but collecting train cards. And then you're sat there at this table with this big hand of cards going, okay, right. Okay, you gonna build a route yet? No. Okay, there are different strategies. You could just go all out for the cards that you need. You could draw randomly from the deck and hopefully get some jokers, or maybe pick up 2 jokers. Or you could just hoard all the cards as a form of a strategy. The only problem with that is it will prevent you from getting the routes that you need. Okay, what do I mean by that? Wow. The second action you can do is you can buy a route, claim a route. And you do that by using the cards in your hand to buy those routes. So, like, for instance here, I'm going to use this joker and these 2 blacks. I go, oh, my action is I'm going to buy a route. I'm going to pay those 3. I'll put that into a discard pile. And that gives me this route here of 3 black. Okay. As soon as you buy a route, you score. Oh no, my camera's stopped working. How did that happen? Can you hear me? Oh, technology. Technology, it's wonderful. It's so wonderful, technology. Yay, are we back? Are we back? Goodbye, see you later. Oh no! Fuck. Oh, why are you doing this to me? Why is everybody always picking on me? Do. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna scream. Let's go, camera. There we go. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? I can hear you. Oh, thank you, Carl. Good evening, Carl. How you doing, mate? Right. Obviously, if I budge up this video, I don't know what happened there. The camera just automatically switched itself off. Oh dear. Oh dear. So where was I? Okay. This is a great experiment. Your camera that switches off automatically. So, as you see, I've built a route between Berlin and Frankfurt. Frankfurt, I did it with the French accent because it's a German word. Just be dang. Okay, and then you will score immediately. There's a nice little scoreboard up here telling you how much you score per train. And I think, no, I've got it. Oh yeah, there's a little card here as well, which does the same. So if you buy a route and it's 1 train long, you get 1 point. I've bought one which is 3 long, so I get 4 points. Okay. One thing you can't do is you can't go, okay, I'll pay 2 blacks and I'll buy part of that route and then I'll get the route later on. No. I've seen people do that. Seriously. That's not how you do it. That ain't no spaghetti bolognese there, mate. Okay. So as soon as you bought your route, you score your points, you move your stum. Okay. One thing I will say about this game is if your scoreboard gets knocked, it is quite easy to recount. It's annoying, but at the same time, you can recount all your trains and calculate the score to see if it's mucked up or not. So that's buying a route. Okay, and as I said, if you're hoarding cards and not buying routes, you might find that your routes get taken away from you. So you might be trying to connect between Zurich and Kiev, and then all these routes get bought up. And so you've got to go all the way around the board to get there. But hopefully, you know, with your big hand of cards, you should be able to do that, no problems. Okay. With a 2 or 3 player game, you see these double routes where it's got pink and yellow, or black and red, like there. In a 2 or 3 player game, you can only use one or the other. So if someone like that person there has bought the black, these reds become unavailable. They are, they're unavailable. But in a 4 or 5 player game, they are available. So someone can build a route there on the green, and someone colorblind. Someone can build a route on the black, and someone can build a route on the red, like so. But you're not allowed to build 2 routes on the same route. That is just cheating. That's nasty, days. Okay. So there you go. That's claiming a route, buying a route. That's action number 2, and I'm swearing at you. Sorry, I didn't mean to. So that's the second thing you can do. The third thing you can do is you can take some more tickets. Tickets, please. Tickets, please. Okay. If you choose to, you draw 3 more tickets, like so. You look at them and you decide what you're going to keep. You could keep the whole 3 of them. You can keep 2 of them, or you have to keep at least 1 of them. The other ones get discarded and thrown away, and then that goes into your hand. Okay. If you ever complete a route, so like this one's Zurich Budapest. And here's one I made earlier. Like that. There we go. I've connected between Zurich, which goes to Munich, which goes to Wiener, and goes to Budapest. That means that that card is done, and I will get 6 points at the end of the game. But don't tell anyone. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Yes, Frodo. All right. So, if you complete a route, super bien. Hide it. Keep it secret. Next, before I move on to the 4th action that you can do, I'm going to go backwards and explain some other things on the board which you might not have noticed, which I didn't notice at all. Okay. As you can see, there's lots of colours on the board which refer to the colours of the train. Now, this is a really nice thing that I like as well. If you're colourblind, these cards are symboled. So reds have this little kind of flower thing. And if you look very carefully in the squares, which you can't really see because the camera's fixed, yeah, the symbols match the colours of the cards as well. So like these orange donuts are on the board. They're a bit hard to see, but it is great, and it helps out people who can't tell the difference between green and black or red and yellow. There's also these grey ones. Now, these grey ones can be anything you want them to be, but they all have to be the same colour. Okay, so if I wanted to buy this route here of 4, I would need 4 cards of the same colour, which is not possible at the moment, but if I did have it, then yeah, and then I can put my trains on it and get 7 points for a route of 4. Now, this bit always gets a bit complicated. Before I do the complicated thing, I'll do the easy thing. There are these routes which are ferry routes, and they are indicated by, they've got a little train in them. Now, basically what this means is, again, these are grey, which is a bonus, because they can be whatever colour you want, but they need to be 2 colours the same, and you need a locomotive, or a joker, to build a route there. Here, you just need 2 jokers between Amsterdam and London. Maybe it's the drug trafficking going on there, I don't know. Okay, and there's Brest. Ah, Brest. Anywho, that's the ferry routes. And I've probably blown your ears out by tapping those cards. And if not, I will give you a... Yeah, what an idiot. Okay. Next, we move on to tunnels, which is another thing which is in the European map. And they are indicated by these big black outlines with little forks coming off them. Now, a tunnel is a very complex thing to explain to newbies. Okay, so I normally kind of leave tunnels out if I'm playing with people that don't really understand. I managed to explain it to my parents. Don't know how I did it, but I did it. And tunnels, they are... How do I explain it? How do I explain it? When you're digging a tunnel, you don't know when you've arrived at your destination, so you never know how long the route really is. So, for instance, this route here is a tunnel, and it needs blue cards. So what you do is you'll pay your 2 blue cards, like so, okay? But the thing is, you never know when you've arrived at your destination when you're digging the tunnel, because you're underground. And again, this is like 1904 or something like that. Yeah, something like that. 1910, so technology was not there, so you don't really know how long the route is. And have you dug long enough? Have you dug long enough underground to arrive? So what you'll have to do is once you've paid your 2, you'll have to draw 3 cards from the deck here. If any of those cards are the same color as the cards that you've played, you will have to pay a forfeit because you haven't dug long enough. Whereas in this case, I've dug 2 red, I've drawn, it's late, I need some more water. I've drawn 2 red cards and a pink card, which means that I've arrived. So I have successfully dug this tunnel here, and then I can claim this route and get my 2 points. Okay, if I'd have drawn a joker or another blue card, I would have to pay that difference. So if the 3 cards had been like that, and I paid 2 blue cards, I would have to play 2 more blue cards because the tunnel is not long enough and I haven't arrived at my destination. If I can't pay that amount, then I take these blue cards back into my hand. Those 3 cards get discarded and I don't actually build my route. But as I said, that's tunnels. That's one thing that you might wish to leave out if you're playing with people that are Scrabble-lites. Ooh, the Scrabble-lites. Okay. I think I've successfully lost everyone now. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I will now move on to the 4th action that you can do. In Ticket to Ride Europe, you get these stations. You get 3 of them. And what you can do with these is you can help yourself out if you get blocked. Okay, so let me do a setup. A bit like this, laddies. I'll do a bit of setup because it's going to be a bit hard to explain otherwise, lad. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that, and do that, and do that, and do that. My wife normally plays the red trains, and I hate her because she likes to thrash me at this game very, very, very nastily. Okay, okay. So let's say that I'm trying to get to Essen from Riga. That's my route. Now, I could decide to build from Riga to Petrograd and then go to Stockholm and Copenhagen and Essen. I could try and go that, or I could kind of rent that route there, which has been blocked by another player. How would I do that? I use a station. To use a station, to use your first station, you just pay 1 card of any color that you wish, and then you just put your station either in Danzig or in Berlin. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the game, when you're checking off your routes, you go, right, I'm going there to this station, I'm borrowing your line to get to there, so I've made my connection between those 2. If you needed a second one, you'd have to pay 2 cards of the same color. And then for the third one, you'd have to pay 3 cards of the same color, and he doesn't have any in his hand. But you have to imagine, let's imagine. I've got 3 cards of the same color. The Jedi mind trick doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. There we go. But the only thing with doing that, it helps you out, but for each station that you place on the map, you will lose 4 points at the end of the game. Yeah. Pluses and minuses. Balances itself out nicely there. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the rules explained. Is that all the rules explained? That was the wrong button to push, that's for sure. Okay, so that's the 4 actions that you can do. And the game will keep going round and round the table. Okay, until one player only has 2 trains left in front of them. Okay, when that comes along, that means that the game has come to an end, and you'll go 1 round until you get back to that player with the 2 trains left, and the game will finish, and you'll count the final scores. I was going to say something else there, and it's totally blown my mind. And now for some music. No, it's totally gone. I'm moving right along. Okay, so you do the final scoring, and that's when you'll check all your routes that you've made, or if you've made them, so you either add the score onto your score or take the score off of your score. Then there's a bonus for the player who has made the longest route. Now, this is one continuous line of trains. For instance, let's say this. I know this is not long, but this is a short one, okay? The longest route of trains here is not the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but it's actually the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That 10 there, that's the longest route. Okay, you could have bucket loads more connected together, make a route going round here, round here, round here. Okay, as I said, the player who has the most trains in their route gets the bonus 10 points. If it's a draw, both players get the 10 points. Oh, excuse me, moi. Oh, that Coke is playing up on me. And that, in a nutshell, no, this is me in a nutshell, is the game. It is a very simple, clean game. I'm going to turn the camera around because you're probably bored at looking at this train. As I said, leave some comments underneath. Let me know what you think of this game. Let me know what you think of this review. Okay, this game is a clean. This game is clean, and it's a very popular game. And the great things about it are that it is very relatively easy to teach. You can teach this. I've taught this to my parents, and that's quite a feat. This is kind of light to medium kind of game, especially with the stations and the tunnels. It does become a bit more refreshes. I'm using French words here. You'll have to excuse me. It's getting late. But that's my fault. That's your fault. Zug and zug. You will have to think a lot. There are several different ways of strategizing this game. As I said, you could collect just the train cards and then do one big buyout everywhere. Or you could just like buy a bit at a time, Or again, when you're placing your trains, I've seen strategies where someone will place trains over there, and then they place trains over there, and then place trains over there. And there's other players that will just go, okay, I'm going to start here, and you can see where they're going, and they just build this one big route. But it's one of those games that you will play again and again, and the more you play it, the more competition you feel in the game. I mean, for example, my wife and I, we used to play this quite a lot, and it was more of a competition. It was a head-to-head, and that was the replayability of it. It was this time I'm going to kick your butt. Yes! I'm going to kick it so hard. I'm going to put a train. No, moving right along. Yeah, and so there is that competitiveness with this game. It plays better with 5 players for me. I like playing it with maximum 2 players. It gets it's a bit too open-ended because there's lots more places to go. The board is nice. I mean, I kind of started thinking that maybe it should be more cartoony. You know, like the Monopoly guy on the front of the Monopoly box, cartoony, you know, instead of this guy who's trying to be Mr. Monopoly, but he's not doing it very well. But then again, it's his style. It's the way that the game looks, and it works. As I said, if it's cartoony, it would probably appeal to more families as well. But anywho, the game is cool, and the great thing about this game is that it can be expanded, and it has been expanded. The one thing I do wish it did have in the rules is a simplified version. As I said, take out the stations, don't use the tunnels, just to make it easy for newbies to get into the game. Again, you know, it'd be really nice if they had like an expert mode in the game. I was just thinking about this while I was on the toilet earlier. And I do my best thinking in the toilet. Okay. That's why you'll never find this video on the Dice Tower Network. I was thinking that maybe what you could do for kind of like an expert mode, let me just get the train tickets, is you could sort the train tickets out into their numbers. So get 5s together, 6s together, 7 points, 8 points, 9 points, 10 points. And then distribute, make a pile for each player, starting with the 12 points, then the 10 points, then 9 points, 8 points. And then the players have to complete these tickets in order. So they'll have a little deck in front of them, and they can only hold the top card in their hand. And then once they've done the route, they place the card face down, and it's kind of a race to try and get through this deck of cards. That would have been a nice kind of like easy expansion to put in the rules to make the game a bit more challenging. I don't know. It might work. It might not work. I'm just spitballing here. But yeah, I kind of wish that it would have been dumbed down a bit. I mean, we have to when we're teaching this game at gaming groups and stuff like that, and you can see that people haven't got a clue what you're talking about when you're trying to explain the train stations. It's like, well, scrap that, and then you go to the tunnels. No, scrap that. You know, it should have been written in the rules. I know I'm just trying to look for things to claw onto, but that's how I feel after teaching this game so many times. The great thing about Ticket to Ride, as I said, is its expandability. Now, I have some of the expansions because there's no need to get all of them, seriously. I have Alvin and Dexter, which is a very small expansion with 2 little miniatures. And these 2 miniatures get placed on the board at the beginning of the game, and you cannot build a route into those cities unless you move the monster. And to move the monster, you have to pay some train cards to move them. Oh, excuse me. It's gas night. It must have been those burritos. Those burritos, dude. Yeah, so you will be moving these monsters. You'll be collecting cards every time you move them, so you get a bonus at the end of the game if you've moved the monster the most. But, you know, it's a nice, it adds a little bit to the game. Not too much. There's the 1912 expansion, which replaces all the ticket cards with some different ticket cards, because apparently there are people that memorize all these ticket cards. And so this like gives you some different routes. It's got some big city routes, it says, and you know, I don't really see much of a difference personally. But the other thing it comes with is warehouses and depots, which is an expansion my wife hates, because whenever we play with the depots, I win. Because it has this nastiness. Because every time you go to take some train cards, you have to take a 3rd card and put it in your warehouse. Okay, and you'll have a depot. You'll have 4 depots near you, but you'll also have a depot on the board on one of the cities at the beginning of the game. And if you ever build it into someone's depot or your own depot, you can take all the cards from a player's warehouse and add them to your hand. And so it's like a nasty thing. But every time you do, you have to remove one of your tokens. So you're going to do that 4 times during the game. Nasty, nasty thing to do. It's all right. You know, I played it a couple of times, as I said, with the wife. She doesn't like it because I pulverize her with that rule. Yes, yes. Ah, my arm. And as you may well or may not know, there are lots of these mini map collections that you can get as well for Ticket to Ride. Some of them are only one-sided. This one's 2-sided, so you have a map of India and you have a map of Switzerland, and each of them have a slightly different rule. So, for instance, there's no stations in the India map. Okay, and all the roads are very, very small and close together. And you don't get a bonus for the longest route, but you get a bonus for the chains if you do like a big circuit. Whereas with the Switzerland map, there's lots of tunnels and there's destinations which go, and you've got to connect countries together. So there's like, you can go from France to Austria, or from Germany to Italy. And there's, you know, it's a bit more tighter as well. I think it plays less players. I think it's 2 to 4 players. Switzerland, yes, it's 2 to 4. But it's the same game, same idea. It works really well. There's loads and loads and loads and loads of different expansions, different maps which do different things. I want to get hold of the Great Britain one because I like the idea of unlocking, because it unlocks. You unlock England. You start off in the south of England and then you work your way north, but you have to unlock. Right. There you go. I'm going to go down to the computer and see what you say about Ticket to Ride, because, you know, it's nice to hear what other people think. What time is it here? David asks me. It is 9:37 as of this second. Larry Doublet is live. Woohoo! It's fine now. Yay! So, does anyone like Ticket to Ride? Does anyone hate Ticket to Ride? Why is Ticket to Ride such a success? Is it because of this easiness, entry level, or is it because it's just cute? I mean, it could be cuter. The game is pretty good. I give the game 9 out of 10. Personally, it's not a 10 game like Survive, Escape from Atlantis. That's a 10 game because the components are great, the game is great, everything, the rules are great, everything just gives you a great feeling every time you play it, unless you get whitewashed. Whereas in this game, it's okay. You know, it's not fantastic. You don't go away going, woohoo, I built a train, woohoo, yeah. Carl's asking me, have I played the UK expansion? No, I haven't. I want to. I've watched reviews and it appeals to me. As I said, it's the whole unlocking thing. I think it's the UK one, which is the unlocking thing. Or is it buying, you have to buy industries or something like that, shares. You'll have to tell me, Carl. Have you played it, Carl? Let me just have a look. I haven't got it. What am I doing? It won't be here, will it, chicken? No, chicken, it won't be here. Okay, L'Aventures Aventurière del Réel, Britain and Ireland. Don't take the camera switched off. No, the camera hasn't switched off. Okay, that's not the one. She is the one. I was her. Oh, it's a fan expansion, that one. Oh, dearie me, we don't want that. United Kingdom of Pennsylvania. That's the one. Ticket to Ride box number 5. I might do a screen share and show you and see if we can find this together, because it's probably a lot more interesting than looking at me in my pajamas. Oh, let's do that. That's beautiful. Here you go. Ticket to Ride. And what do we have? It says there's a UK map and a Pennsylvania map. Pennsylvania for pencil people. You have technology cards and standard technologies. Okay, which is nice. Oh, I zoomed in a bit too quick there. If I've made any of you vomit by moving very quickly, I apologize. I will give me your address and I will send you some Kleenex in the post. It comes with more train cards, which is strange. Why would it do that? I mean, the other expansion didn't come with train cards, did it? But yeah, I think the UK one looks really good. As I said, I don't think you need to buy everything. Again, UK is where I used to live. Oh, I'm sweet. Let's go back to there. Yeah, UK is where I used to live, so obviously there's some attachment there. But again, as I said, it's that unlocking. I don't know if it's the UK map is the unlocking one, or if the UK map is. Yes, it is. Thank you, Carl. Love it. You got the 20th anniversary, have you, Cedric? I wish they'd create the UK map the same size for the 20th anniversary. Yeah, I agree. The 20th anniversary one is gorgeous. My local store, I keep going in there every now and again, and they've got it there on the side, and I'm thinking, oh, you're so beautiful. Those trains are they come in those lovely tin boxes, and the trains are bigger, they're beautiful, they're painted, they got giraffes sticking out of them. There's like circus trains. The map is bigger, the box is bigger. It is the same game, but it's just bigger. And again, that's the problem. That's probably a lot more expensive to produce, and then to transfer all of these expansions into bigger versions is a lot of money. It's like Takenoko as well. You know, he wants a lot of big box of wood. I'll stick to the little box. So, shall I wrap up? Well, I've been going for 40 minutes, which is pretty good. it's pretty long still for a Ticket to Ride video, wouldn't you say? So there you go. My experiment of doing a live video review of a board game. Hopefully it's worked. Hopefully the high quality comes out later, because I mean this camera is a 1080p camera with a nice kind of like fisheye thingy. So unfortunately I can't zoom in with it. So I'll have to do woo, woo. So hopefully that comes out nicely. Yeah, but they just have to do the map, not the wagons. Yeah, it's true. They just need to bring out the maps in extra large form. Will you supersize it? Supersize it, please. Yes. Bon, I am going to say thank you very much for watching, Carl and Cedric, and where is that? David as well. Thank you. Let me know in the comments what you think of this idea of doing live video reviews, if it's appealing, if it's pants, or if the video quality is not that great. It's not worth it, you know, looking at, you know, a really low res, high quality, decent card. I mean, but anywho, thank you very much. I'm going to push the stop button and do a good night.